JS files or something. Okay, JS libraries. So this is just a plain JavaScript. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just copy pasting the basic tags. Vishnu, you are there with me, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. You. Okay, it's good. We'll get started. So what we are going to do is today, I'm going to create a input button of type equal to button. Okay, I'm going to give it a class name saying just click underscore animate underscore box. I'm going to say value is equal to uh, click me. Okay, so we have a button here, and then I'm just going to have a empty space, and I'm going to create a small div element with class equal to box, and just an empty div element. Okay, so you will not see anything here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to style this div element dot box. Okay, I'm going to give a width to it of 30 pixel. I'm going to give a height of 20 pixel, and I'm going to set a background color blue color. Okay, and make the position absolute. Okay, so we have a small development for rectangular kind of shape. Okay, so this is our simple. Assume this to be a object. Okay, so this simple rectangle to be an object. The objective now here is when I click here, this box should travel from here to some distance to the right. Basically, it has to animate from left to right. Okay, so that is the objective. So let's see what we can do. So what here we are going to try to do is plainly play around with CSS and click properties. Nothing big, but it just gives a good animation feel. Okay, so first of all, in order to make these two bind these two elements, we need to have a click event function. So I'm in the input tag. I'm going to say on click, and I'm going to give a function name here. On click, I'm going to say animate underscore box. Okay, I'm just removing this class. We don't need this class anymore. Here I'm going to say function animate underscore box. I'm just printing a console statement and I click just to check whether it's working. And I will click animate, and we have to have this parenthesis here. Okay, so this when I click here, we are getting a console statement. I have clicked here. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to move this box from here to here. Okay, just one step I'm going to do. So for that, what we are going to use is we are going to use the property called left for this box. Okay, for example, here if I say left equal to 50 pixel in the beginning itself, so it actually having a gap out in the left margin as 50 pixel up. Okay, so you can just increase it. So when beginning of the page, when loading the page itself, it will have a gap in the left hand side. So that is the CSS properties of the CSS property of the development. So we are going to use that. What I'm going to do is when I'm going to, so right now we are just in the basic, it's in the left hand side, the left is 0. Okay, what I'm going to do is when I click on this particular button, I'm going to change the CSS property left of this div element. Okay, so for that we should get the handle of the element. So what I'm going to do is div underscore dom is equal to document dot get element. I'm going to use query selector instead of get element. So query selector, since it is a class here, and since it is a class with name box, I'm going to say dot box. So if it is an ID, it will be hash box. Okay, so I have selected this development, and I'm going to print this whenever user clicks on the click me button. So if I say click me, it will just print this box, the development here. Okay, and I'm going to instead of just printing, I'm going to say style dot left, which will give the left number of pixel, the left margin pixel. So what I'm refreshing the page, clicking here. Here it does nothing because nothing is there. It doesn't have a left property. So it just says it gives an empty string. So if you see here, nothing has been printed here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is div underscore dom dot style dot left is equal to 50. When I click here, it just moves. Okay. So what we have done, so whenever someone clicks on this button, input button, it goes to the function called animate underscore box. So we have defined the animate underscore box here. So what it does is, first it selects the element with class box, and then it move the DOM element of it just takes the left property of that DOM element and then assign it to 50 pixels. So you can just assign it to 150 pixel, and so when we click on this, it just move 150 pixel to the left. Okay. So any doubts so far?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. So this is what we are going to do next is we are going to put it in a iterative manner so that it just moves like 10 times up. Okay. So that is the next step that we are going to do. Okay. And instead of left, here I can also say that move top to 150 pixel or 50 pixel. Okay. So whenever I'm clicking on this, okay, so it just it's already in up around 50 pixels, so you didn't notice much. So what I've done is I've just moved it from the left. From here, I've just moved to 150 pixel. Also from the top, I have moved it to 150 pixel. Okay, so here it has moved 150 pixel from the left, and also it has moved 150 pixel from the top. Okay, and basically if you look at the projection or something, the travel, it should travel like this. Basically it was initially it was here, and then it moves from here to here, basically kind of straight line, cross straight slope line. Okay.
Diagonal style.
Yeah, later in the class we will also see how we can change this trajectory. So how this right now it's just a slope line, we will see how we can change the path. Okay, that will be the later stage in our class. Let me just clear this one second. So this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a for loop. Okay, so I want to put this function inside a for loop. So I'm going to just say animate underscore box underscore underscore. I'm just creating a new function animate underscore box underscore repeat Okay, I'm going to say for I equal to 0, I less than 5 times, so I less than 5, I plus plus. I'm going to call this function here, this animate underscore box. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. So here, while clicking on the input button, instead of calling animate underscore box, I'm going to call animate underscore box underscore repeater. Okay, and I'm just reducing the pixels here, and when I click here, one second, what happens is, so here the I'm just doing a console.state, a console.log here. I'm just printing SSS here. Okay. So when I click here, so it has entered this function 5 times. So that's why we are getting this console message 5 times. So what we have done here is we have hard coded it to be 50 pixel always. Okay, so anytime it comes, it just plays this div element left 50%, 50 pixel and top 50 pixel. Okay, so we are not using the relative position, meaning we are not taking the current position and then adding 50 pixel to it. What we are doing is whatever is the position, we are just making it to move to 50 pixel. For example, here I'm just going to say left is 200 pixel, uh, top is 100 pixel. So initially, without clicking the button, this is the position of the div element. So here left is 200 pixel, top is 100 pixel when the dashboard, when the page loads up. Okay, the moment I click here, it has just moved from here to this position now. So now the position to the left is we have set it to 50 here. Okay, and also from top it is 50. No matter where it starts from, it just fixes the box, position the box in this place, 50 comma 50 comma 50. Okay, any doubts so far?
No.
Yeah. So what we have to do is, before even changing the position of the div element, we should get the current position, and then from the current position, we have to add 50 pixel to it. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So I'm just temporarily not going to use this function. I'm just going to say whenever I click on this, you just use animate underscore box. So we have created this function. We'll be using it in a minute. What I'm going to do here is, instead, when someone just clicks the button, it should take from the current position and then it should move to 50 pixel next. Okay, so what we have to do here is, before even setting this, we should check the current position now. So console.log, for example, let's say I'm just saying it as left is 10 pixel. Okay, so I'm just going to say document dot div underscore dom dot style dot left. I'm just printing the current pixel. When I click on it, nothing happens. Okay, because we have not set any pixel from through JavaScript here. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we are just going to get the current position, just assign it to some variable. Okay, so we are just saying div underscore dom dot style dot left. just saying current underscore left is equal to div underscore in. Okay, and check it out, console.log current underscore left is equal to undefined or not. So I'm sorry, I'm just trying with myself. I'm not just a minute. What here I'm going to do is, so current left, we are just identified what is the current left. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add it here. Okay, and 50 pixel I'm adding, nothing will happen. Okay, it just moves from 50 pixel. Click here, nothing happens. Ideally, when I click it for the second time, it should move from 50 pixel to 100 pixel. Okay, that doesn't happen. I will let you know why. Okay, so here for the very first time, current underscore left, if you have noticed, when I'm doing a console.log current underscore left, it doesn't print me anything. It just prints me an empty element because it's nothing having nothing. So we have to assume this for the very first time we'll have this problem, but when you iterate it for the second time or third time, there will be some value in that. So what I'm going to do is blindly, we have used this function before. I'm going to just blindly make it as pass underscore enter. Okay, so it gives me nan here. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is, for the very first time when I calculate the left value, it just says as nan, that's saying that not a number. Okay, Vishnu, you're able to understand?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I hope Prashant you're also able to follow it up, though you just came in the middle. Let me know if you finding it difficult to get it up, because few functions we have used it already, so I'm just skipping those.
No, sure.
Yeah. So for the very first time, pass underscore int and the left tile, the value becomes nan, because the value is not there for the very first time. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, print and check for that nan. I'm just saying here is that I'm just introducing a one more function called isnan. Okay. And I'm just saying current underscore left. I'm checking whether the left property, the variable in the left, is nan or not. So if it is nan, I'm just doing console.log of this is not a number. I'm going to say else console.log there is a left property. Okay, very first time. Line number 18. Okay, I'm
One
just
more
Mr.
process.
Parasis. Yeah. So when I click here, this is says this is not a number for the very first time. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, if it is not a number, so it means that that is the first time that we are going to change the property. So blindly I will say make it as 50. Instead of checking the current position, I will just make it as 50. Okay, so when I click here, it says this is not a number, and it moved the box to the 50 pixel. So this gets executed for the very first time. Okay, when I click on second time, it says there is a left property. So for the second time, it just goes to the else condition, because there is a 50 pixel, we have already assigned it there. Okay, so now here, if you check console.log div underscore dom dot style dot left. Okay, I'm just printing what is the current position. So for the very first time, it goes into the if condition. It says this is not a number, and then it moves the div element 50 pixel left. Okay, and when I click for the second time, it says 50 pixel is the left, and there is a left property. Okay, so this console statement, so these two console statements gets executed for the second time. Okay, and if I click for the third time, it says again there is a left property 50 pixel. Okay, so now we have to get that current left property here. I'm going to say uh, removing this and keeping it here. Variable current underscore left is equal to, I just have to paste it here. Okay, I'm just going to say variable current underscore left is %. Okay, I'm just taking the current element here. Okay, or else we can directly just do a console statement here. Current underscore left. So for the very first time, it says this is not a number. It just moves. For the second time, it will print 50. Third time, it will print 50. Fourth time, again it will start printing 50. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is you just add this to the property document dot so div underscore dom dot style dot left is equal to current underscore left plus 50 pixel up. It moves one step up and it moves for the second time. It moves for the third time and it takes the current position and then moves 50 pixel left, left, left up. Okay. So for any confusion, uh, Vishnu, are you able to get it?
Yeah.
You want me to repeat it?
No, no.
Okay, fine, right? I hope Prashant is also able to understand now, at least the concept wise.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what we have done. Just a quick 1 minute in brief explanation what we have done. So we have taken the current box and then we have taken the current left position and checking if it is a number or not. For the very first time, it will not be a number. So we are checking whether it's NaN, and for the very first time, we are hard coding it to be a 50 pixel. And if for the second time, it will have a number. So it will get into the else condition and then it takes the current left and then add 50 pixel to it. Okay. Now I also uh, plan. I'll also increase the top to 50 and I'm taking here the current top position as well. The very first time it just moves here and then moves here. So it travels in the diagonal format. Instead of just going to a right side, it travels in the diagonal format. Okay. Also, I can keep increasing the width going forward. Let me try it out. Okay. I'm just trying it. Second time div dot dom dot style dot width is equal to I have to get the current width as well. I hope it works. I've never tried it before. And plus 50. I have done some mistake here. Fine, I will check it out. I've never tried this with. Usually, I'm using it to. Will be changing it to jQuery. So usually, I work with that. We'll be using attribute there. I think dot style width is not available there. Fine. Okay. Now we'll get into the second function. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is instead of just me clicking every time, I'm going to use this repeat function now. So in here, instead of animate underscore box underscore I'm just saying repeat now. Okay. So here it just goes here and this animate underscore box will get executed 5 times. So I have saved it. So when I click on it, it just directly jumps. Actually, we will not able to see it. So actually, the what happening in the back end is first it will come here, it will come here, it will come here, it will come here, and then finally it's end up having the position here. But it just so quick that we are not able to feel it that it's moving on. Okay, so because it just does that very quickly. So I'm just erasing all drawings. So if you want to confirm whether it's going 5 or 6 times, just put some statement, control statement here. So moment I click here, you can see that this function is getting executed 5 times, and it's very fast. It just moves just like that. So what we are going to do now is we want to give some time before executing one function, meaning it should move from one place to the second position, pass for some time, and then move to the third position and again pass for some time. So it's like just come, wait for a minute, or then move, and then wait for a minute and then move, so that visually when we look at it, we will able to identify that it's actually moving. Else it will be very quick, which will not able to identify visually. So I'm just introducing a uh, function called set interval. Okay, so here I'm going to get rid of this for loop. Okay, instead whenever clicks on that button, it comes to animate box underscore repeat, and then I'm going to say variable animation underscore name. I'm just giving it as a name. Set interval is the function name. Okay, set interval, the way it works is we have to give a function, some function or some method to it, some expression to it, and then it will keep repeating it and give a like if I give 10 here, it will give 10 milliseconds gap before executing it for the second time, and it will keep on executing, it will not stop. Okay, so I repeat, set interval, what it does is whatever function that we are giving, it need not be a function, it can be a statement as well, it can be just a console dot state log statement as well. But some whatever we give as a parameter, first parameter here, it will keep repeating it for infinity times, and then for every repetition it will give 10 milliseconds here. So if here we can just make it as 50 milliseconds, so that we can visually see that something is happening. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm refreshing the dashboard. I'm clicking here. It continuously moves. We're not able to see actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the timeline, saying instead of 50 milliseconds, I'm just having it as 150 milliseconds, so that it is bit slow. So it moves bit slow here now. You increase it further. Let's take 500 milliseconds. Slowly moves and doesn't stop. So it keeps going until I refresh the browser. That is the property of set interval. It doesn't stop. It just iterates continuously with 500 milliseconds. So whatever number you are giving is the milliseconds in values. In the unit is milliseconds. So it just repeats that. It just repeats infinite time. Doesn't stop. So we can have to put somewhere in between saying that stop at this moment. Okay, so that I will cover next. Before that, any doubts so far?
No.
Okay, so what we have seen is we have introduced what is set interval, and we have introduced another function called snag. Okay, other stuff is what we have already seen it. Okay, so this is a very basic level of animation. Okay, that we can just use using plain JavaScript. It's just playing around with the CSE property. Okay, and so if you don't say top here, if you don't move the top element here and you just do here, it will just move towards left up. Okay, and just keep moving. Okay, on top of it, we can also introduce transitions, the way it moves from the first position to the second position. Right now, if you see, it just quickly jumps up to the second position, but we can control that as well, how it should jump, whether it should fade away, or usually we have seen this fading effects. When one image moves to another image, you can have a fading effect. So those things as well we can do it, but I'm not covering it right now. As we go, I will take up with some other example and I will move it down. Okay. So as of now, I'm just repeating it using set interval function. Okay. So what set interval does? Let me repeat it. It takes up some function or some statements, repeat them for infinite times until it get a message to stop, and it within each repetition it just waits for some milliseconds. The value you have to define it here. The unit is milliseconds. Okay, so now what I'm going want to do is I want to repeat this. I want to stop this after 10 times. Okay, or I want to stop, let's say I want to stop it when the left position is approximately around 500 pixels. Okay, so I want to stop this animation once the box has reached 500 pixel from the left and 500 pixel. We'll just, as of now, we'll just keep it like 500 pixel from the left. Okay, so what we are going to use the same functions. What I want is, I'm just writing it. Yeah, stop animation once the box reaches 500 pixel from left. Okay, so for that what we can do is, here whenever we are checking for, whenever we are adding the current left element, we have to keep eye on it, what is the amount of what is the pixel value. So currently here we are just blindly adding whatever is the current left property, adding it to 50 pixel. Instead we have to check that value. Okay, so I'm assigning a variable to it. So I'm just saying current and overall underscore left, overall underscore left is equal to current underscore left plus 50, and here I'm just adding it. So I just replaced that this addition with a variable called overall underscore left. Okay, and before adding it to the div element, okay, I'm going to check whether this overall left is less than 500. If it is less than 500, go and change the property. Else do nothing. As of now, I'm just saying do nothing. So I'm clicking here. It just moves. It still goes, okay, and just stops here. Okay, but if so it just stops here, it doesn't move beyond 500 pixels. Just for clarity sake, I'm just making it as 300 so that it will be within the window. So it just comes and stops here. Okay, though visually it has stopped here, in the backend actually it will be still running up. If I just say console.log and just say ss here and I refresh the page, it keeps printing it. So I'll just add this here. Sorry, I'll just add the within this. This is the repetitive function. I'm just going to add ss here, and I click on it. So it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Though it has stopped here, okay, but the program is still running. Reason is, what we have said here is, if the property is left property is less than 300, change it up. Else don't change anything. Okay, but this cent underscore interval will keep running. It will every time it will keep checking. If it is less than 300, it will change the value. If it is greater than 300, it does nothing, but it just goes back to the function again and again now. Okay, it just goes into an infinite loop. Though it's not doing anything, it goes to the function, checks, come back, checks, come back. So we need to have a mechanism saying stop the iteration now. Okay, else without finishing this, it won't go to the next line now. Okay, so we need to have some way say here that please stop the animation now. Okay, so in order to do that, we have to use a function called clear interval now. Clear interval. Okay, and we have to give the name of the interval, the animation interval that we have given here. So here we have used the set interval and we have assigned it to a variable called animation underscore name. Okay, we have to give this name here, animation underscore name. So what it does is, the moment it reaches 300 pixel from the left, it will go to the else condition, and inside the else condition we are stopping, we are clearing that interval, so it will not repeat after this. So when I click here, it prints 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then it stops. Okay, I just have to this is a function, right? This is the scope is not defined here. Okay, I just have to put it in another name and just have to keep it outside the function. This is the Vishnu. This is because the scope is defined within the function, right? You remember?
Yeah.
So it says it animation underscore name is not defined.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just use animate underscore box here. I'm not going to create a new function within this animate underscore box. I'm going to keep this up. Okay, so what happens is, whenever it comes on animate underscore box, it directly goes here. We can just put it this inside a function. Function. I'm just restructuring the function names now. Animate underscore box underscore repeat. I'm having everything other these things inside this. We run to check whether everything is fine. So it moves, and then it has stopped. Okay, after 6 times it doesn't repeat itself. Okay, the reason is clear interval has stopped the interval called animation underscore name, and it doesn't repeat it once this else condition is executed. Just a minute. Okay, any doubt so far? Vishnu?
No. Fine.
You're fine with it. You're also able to understand the, I've just restructured the function names to make sure that this name is available here. Okay, that is the only restructure that I have done now.
Your
Okay.
animation underscore name, you kept it as a global variable.
Yeah, I kept it as a global variable and it is inside this function itself. Okay.
Yeah.
So it will be available here. Okay. Prashant, any doubts, Prashant?
I do understand, but I have a couple of, but I'll get back to you on this.
Sure. Yeah, you can just get back and we can just connect again. Okay. Now, what I want to do is here as of now, what we are doing here is it just moves from here to here. Okay, what I want to do now is instead of moving like this, I want to have a path like this. It should move like a sine wave. Okay, and this is one thing that we can do, and we can just do like this. So it should exponentially move like this. Okay. So these are the stuff, different parts that we can make it up. So we can just animate like a ball is bouncing. So the sine wave is nothing but a ball is bouncing up. Okay, so that is the effect that we will get up. Okay, so we will start with the sine wave stuff. Okay, so what we are going to do is instead of that changing is very simple. What we are going to use is we are going to use a I'm just introducing a function method called math. Okay, math is provides a lot of mathematical operation methods for a lot of mathematical operations. So if you look at it, math dot will have a lot of, it has sine properties, it has log properties, it has exponential, power, round, or sine of. So whatever mathematical operations that you want to do, okay, you can use math function. So math dot will give you a lot of options for mathematical functions. So what we are going to right now use here is sine property. Okay, so we want a sine wave kind of trajectory, right? So I
Yeah.
want to use sine property. So what I'm going to do here is in left in top, okay, instead of just saying just move it to 50 pixel, okay, what I'm going to say here is I'm going to make it in time with the sine wave. Okay, you have understanding of a sine wave, right?
Yeah.
So if I say sine mass dot sine of 0, it gives me 0. If I say 1.5, it gives me 0.99. Okay, so actually you keep increasing. Okay, it will, these values will move, these values if you plot it, it will look like a sine wave. 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, if you continuously plot it for some interval, okay, these values if you plot against time, it will look like a sine wave. Okay,
Mhm.
got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is here, instead of just current underscore top, instead of just plus 50, I am going to say math dot sine of current underscore top. Okay, I'm just changing the top value. Instead of just plainly moving 50 50 50, you can just move in terms like a sine wave. Okay, okay, it just moved from here to here. So basically it has just, so if you have a sine wave like this, okay, it has just moved from here to here. For example, I'll just repeat here. Okay. So if I click here, so it has moved like a half sine wave, it has moved. Okay, because the values are very high. Okay, so it just moves like a normal slope. So I'm just reducing the values. So instead of 50 here, I'm just going to have like a zero point 0.5 or something. Okay, and then here I'm just multiplying it with 10. Okay, so now if I click here, it just values are so high that it's not moving properly. One second, let me alter it a little bit. And repeat it left value. I'm moving, I'll also move the left value a little bit, it's like 5 pixel like that. 0 0. I'll just move left into type fixer. So it slowly moves and it should come down. Okay. If it's not coming down, basically we are just screwing up with the values. Okay. So one second. I think it just goes. So what I'll do is current position. I think top we will change it to let's say current top is 100. Okay. So I just the values are just mismatching here. Okay, else we'll get a sine wave. So usually you know the sine property, right? It just moves from between 0 to 1. So we are just screwing up something here. Current value into just print the current value. We'll just print the value here and see what it does. What is the math value coming to? Okay, I'm just printing it here. It just stays in zero sum. So I'm just taking this overall stuff. It just stays the value math.sign value just stays in zero. I have to check out the values. Let's go top. Give me a minute, I'll be back. 0.5, after that it goes to minus 0, minus 0, minus 0. Okay. So what am I doing? Current value, let's say it's 0.1. So what happens if it's 0.1? It is kind of 0.1. Okay. And it was happening here. Okay, for some reason it's not working. I will get back up. Okay. For some reason I just stuck here. I just have to play around carefully with the left values, top values. Initially, it all depends on the initial value where it starts. No. Okay, so I will get back on this. Okay, I will get back. I haven't defined this variable as well, so I will get back. So basic idea here is instead of just moving it as a slope, we can move it like a sine wave. We can move it like a exponentially growing wave. Okay, that is the basic idea. I'm just screwing up somewhere here with the values. Okay, but you got the overall picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any doubts so far apart from this math.sign? I will get back on this one.
Yeah. Okay.
You able to understand what is the set interval, right?
Yeah. Set interval.
Yeah. Prashant, you have some doubts, right? Okay, I think this is Abhi. Vishnu, you have anything? Is it confusing? Let me know. Is it
No,
too advanced for you? No, right?
actually, it's too advanced for me. But
Okay, you want me to come? No, I thought. Okay, fine. Uh, so or do you want? I'm just stopping the recording. 1 second now.
mm,
Yeah. Okay, I'm just getting recorded. Fine. Should I reduce the complexity?
No, no,
Just
no,
let me know.
no, no.
Let me know. Okay, reason
Okay.
I'm taking all these things is like it's kind of real world problems that we'll encounter when you get into an actual job or something.
Yeah,
These concepts,
actually, yeah. Okay, it's okay. I can wind it up and I'll practice it once. If I get
yeah,
any
because
doubts,
I don't want to take up like small topics and finish it off and say that okay, I've covered everything.
no, just
And
as well of I want real time experience. So
yeah,
real time scenarios I want. If
yeah,
it is
okay.
a real time scenario, so I have to practice, right? Uh,
Yeah, you have to practice anyway. That's the
mm,
reason I'm taking. See, all these things, apart from whatever you know, today
mm,
I have just introduced what is set interval and what is math.sign and what is Island. Okay.
Eastland, yeah. Mm,
Apart from this, nothing else is new to you. Okay.
yeah. Mm.
But we have played around in different angle with what you know already.
Yeah, that's the thing, but I want to make sure that how program is like writing.
Yeah, so you getting knowledge because with you only I'm also writing this program, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I encounter some problem here and I'll get back okay, because
Okay.
instead of just taking small example, toy examples or something, these are things that you can actually go and check it out. When you
Okay.
actually do into go and get into a job, these things will get helpful for you. The way I'm and like debugging also will help you. Okay,
Okay.
because you also if you encounter you will know what to do or where to check it out, what way to debug okay, so that's the reason I don't do it offline and do it here. I do it online itself along with you guys, so that if I encounter some problem and the way I debug, you guys also will able to follow it up the way I debug okay. Just
Okay.
because of the time constraint, I have just stopped the math.sign value, else I will properly debug with along with you guys okay.
Okay.
Else,
Okay, sure.
just yeah, sure. We will get connected. I checked with Shailada. She is okay with 8 o'clock.